So I'm not proposing anything radical here. I just believe that anybody making over $250,000 a year should go back to the income tax rates we were paying under Bill Clinton.
President Obama wants to extend tax cuts for families making less than $250,000 a year, but not for those making more than that. Will that help him beat Mitt Romney in November? Let's ask ABC's Sam Donaldson. Sam, the president has drawn a line in the sand, saying annual income of $250,000 is the line between the middle class and the wealthy. Is this a good strategy for Obama?
Well, perhaps so, because there are more people who are making less than $250,000 a year than more. He says the top 1%, they can afford it, and they should contribute more. The Republicans say at a time of bad economic situations, you shouldn't raise taxes on anyone. So that line in the sand, as you put it, is drawn, and people can make a choice.
We have been hearing some new talking points from Democrats, things being said about Romney being as secretive as Nixon, that he's betting against America by hiding money in offshore accounts, and that he needs to be more of an open book when it comes to his income. Is this the focus we're going to be seeing from the Obama campaign from now till November?
A lot of it will be that way because the gloves are off. On both sides, it's going to get down and dirty, and never mind whether you think that's a good thing or not. It's the way it's going to be. And the president's theme, as he tried to express it yesterday, was, look, I'm your guy. I know who you are. You know who I am. I care about you. Who is this weird person? Who is this guy that doesn't relate to people and who does all these things that ordinary Americans don't and can't do? So you want to call it class warfare, you can call it anything you want, but the president is trying to make a distinction between a Mitt Romney that's out of touch and a president who knows who you are.
A new ABC News poll showing preferences of voters now a dead heat. And there's plenty of things really in those numbers that both candidates are probably somewhat concerned about when they look inside those numbers.
That's right. There's a plus and a minus for each one. The minus for the president is people do not think he's done a good job in the economy. Hello? They do not think the country is going in the right direction for them. And that's terrible for a guy who's the top man trying to get reelected. On the other hand, they like him better than Mitt Romney. They trust him better than Mitt Romney. They relate to him, and he says they think he relates to them better than Mitt Romney. So that's why, as we said earlier, the president is playing a theme, which is, I'm your guy, and who is this other man?
Romney has his own problems, though, including the poll showing his supporters are more apt to be against Obama than for him. Can the GOP rally behind that to get people to the voting booth in November?
Well, that's interesting because many times our elections are decided not because they like him, they want to vote him in, they want to vote people out. If the top guy or anyone is doing a job that's a bad one for them, or they think it's his fault, whether it is or not, they throw the bums out, or the great rallying cry of American politics. So it's not altogether bad that people are voting against Barack Obama, who are going to do that, rather than just for Mitt Romney.
In fundraising, Mitt Romney outraised President Obama by $35 million last month. Is that gulp you hear coming from the White House?
Well, let me tell you, it is. Because a few months ago, the Democrats were pretty confident they could raise $1 billion. No more. And in the last 2 or 3 months, the gap has been widening. And what that says is that the so-called smart money, whether it's smart or not, we'll find on November 6th, is saying it's going to be Mitt Romney, the next president. And they want to be on his team. And so they contribute the money to him rather than Barack Obama.
And Sam, much of the money that's going to be spent on advertising is going to be spent in the swing states and on negative ads. And you mentioned negative ads a minute ago. There's going to be a lot of negativity thrust in the faces of American people in the months ahead.
No, absolutely. And every election cycle, it seems to get worse. Not that there hasn't been negativity from the beginning of our republic. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, woo, that was a real fight. I didn't manage to cover it. I was on another assignment. But the point is, does it turn Americans off? Well, people will say, yes, I don't want that negativity. And yet, clearly, a lot of people react to an ad that says the other guy's a bum rather than an ad that says, here's the American flag, I'm wrapping myself around it. Well, that's fine, but I want to know about the bum.
We'll have to end it there. ABC's Sam Donaldson.
All right, Scott.